Hi everyone, this is Mackenzie. Hi Mackenzie, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I love your company. It's very good.
Thanks.
Which you didn't know about. Okay. So Mackenzie has to introduce yourself, and what do you want to know?
Yeah, my name is Mackenzie Crosson. I am a journalism student at Columbia College, and for one of my classes, we have a semester-long project where we choose a particular community, immigrant community in the city of Chicago, and we report on them, get to know the community, get to know the people, find some angles, find some stories. It's actually a class about being a foreign correspondent, so that's kind of his way of trying to practice that skills of reporting here in the city. And what I chose for my community was Indian, Pakistani, American women in Chicago. So if you have any connections, any people I should know, any possible stories or angles that you think I could possibly work on, I'm open to anything. Right now I'm kind of trying to formulate that angle, what my story is going to be, and just trying to meet as many people as I can and talk with as many people as I can. So I would really appreciate any help you can give.
There are two girls who you can talk to later. She wants to interview you.
Guys.
What are some questions you want to ask them?
If there are any particular challenges that you think Indian, Pakistani, American women face here in the city, any kind of obstacles to assimilating, to that kind of balance between women and their success and men and their success, what kind of cultural or gender differences from Pakistan or India kind of follow here, and how those differences get adjusted in Chicago. So that kind of dynamic between the home culture and then trying to navigate that here, if that makes sense. And what kind of new things come out of that. So I'm really just interested in learning anything I can about
You have a lot of Pakistani and Indian female friends?
I don't. I
Any?
think I have one I know of. One.
Would you like to make some friends?
Yes, I would love to.
Is Facebook okay platform for that?
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, if you know any woman, I know a lot of men in Chicago, but if you know any woman in Chicago, and I'm sure if there's a man, there's definitely a woman also with him. So do tag them and introduce Mackenzie with her.
Yeah. Men welcome too. Anyone really in the community that I can get to know.
Do you know the difference between Indian culture and Pakistani culture much?
I don't know too much.
Do you have any questions? I would love to answer them. If you don't, then I'll have to just impose on you.
What would you say is the largest difference?
Okay.
The one that you should know the most about?
All right. So I'll give you an example of a girl who went to a school. If she was going on public transportation in Pakistan, the public transportation is segregated, which means that the woman would sit in the front and men would stay in the back. And women will always get a seat and men will not get a seat if there was a woman on board. That's number one. India, you can sit anywhere. So they're more used to handshakes. They're more used to body touching. They're more used to like being equal than in Pakistan. In Pakistan, if I'm in my own home, my mother is a social activist. And if she's having a program in my house, I'm like, oh my God, not again. Why? Because the moment they will see me, they will like, oh, there's a guy. It's like there's a monster in the house. So that's kind of weird for me. So like why? It's just another human being. But I understand. That's one of the main differences I saw is how do you even interact with a girl? And it's changing. But in my generation, it was very hard to, even though I remember I used to sit next to a girl in my school, but I was then just not able to talk with them. It's just like weird. So that's like one communication skill problem. Now, when you bring that to the US, you're still going to stay kind of in the similar box.
Right.
So you bring that mentality over, and most people that I know who are from in Pakistani community especially, they don't socially interact with the other races, blacks or whites or whoever. They just stay in Chicago because there's such a big Indian Pakistani community. They don't have to interact with other races. So you look like a Polish descent maybe, I don't know.
I do have some.
Yeah,
Polish,
there you go. So So if just like Polish community doesn't need, they have their own yacht club, they have their own thing. They don't need to go out and make friends with other people. There are enough Polish people to make friends with. The same thing happens with Indian Pakistani community also, in my opinion, which is not a good thing, which doesn't allow the integration to happen. I have some cousins in Houston who were born and raised in Houston, who have maybe 1 or 2 white friends. I'm like, what? How is that even possible? I have like 5,000 of them. I live in Pakistan. So it's just that when you have enough, it's challenging. And then and reaching out to a different community. I mean, as a journalist, you are reaching out, but still, most people don't reach out to difference,
Yeah, which
and
is
like
one of the main points of this class.
Yeah, and then I'm saying hi, make friend. They're like,
Yeah.
isn't that creepy?
Right.
So yeah,
Someone asked that, right?
Yeah,
That's the
yesterday.
question,
Yesterday, yeah. So, you have any more questions? I would suggest all of you who are watching to please introduce our friend Mackenzie to anyone who is, especially girls, to add her and message her so she can talk with you and understand the culture more, and she would know exactly what to ask. And feel free to learn about her culture also, no matter where you are in the world. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mackenzie,
thank
for reaching
you.
out.
Thank you.